Welcome to this visual explainer. Today, we are unpacking a profoundly beautiful piece of spiritual reflection penned by Bak Sukesti Martono back in early 2026. It's a text that tackles something we literally all struggle with, right? That deep inner desire for personal change and spiritual growth. But here's the thing. Instead of throwing an overwhelming list of resolutions at us, he offers a remarkably focused, gentle, and just highly effective approach to self-improvement. We're going to break down his insights step by step. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's explore the absolute transformative power of focusing on just one single thing.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, a branch in the river, a metaphor for life. The author actually skips the rigid rules and starts us off with this overarching, brilliant metaphor of our lives as a flowing body of water.
I really want you to picture this scene. Just imagine standing by the edge of a crystal clear river. The water is flowing smoothly, gently, with absolutely no resistance. This tranquil state, that represents the natural peace we all strive for in our spiritual lives. It's that elusive feeling of lightness where everything just feels aligned and truly blessed.
But look at the stark contrast here. What happens to that perfectly tranquil scene when just one single dry branch gets caught on a rock? It's tiny, right? But day after day, it blocks the flow. Over time, the water behind it slowly becomes murky. The small fish, which, we can think of as the little daily blessings in our lives, they can't pass through anymore. The entire life of that river is disrupted. That single dry branch is the perfect metaphor for one bad habit. Just one small disruption can totally muddy our spiritual clarity and block those daily blessings from flowing.
Which leads us to Section 2. Why just one habit? The secret of consistency. Let's look at the psychological and spiritual trap of trying to fix absolutely everything all at once. And this brilliantly illustrates a trap we literally all fall into. We get a burst of motivation and decide we're going to carry the heavy burden of changing 10 habits at once. Wake up earlier, eat healthier, pray longer, the whole shebang. And what happens? Almost without fail, we crash and burn by the second week. It's just too heavy. But if we shift gears and change just one habit with gentle, pure awareness, it doesn't just disappear, it transforms. That focused effort becomes a strong root of goodness that grows incredibly deep over time.
So the answer here is a resounding 1. Look at that giant number. We aren't looking for 10 flaws to fix right now. We definitely aren't looking for 100. Just 1. This is so crucial because it isn't about forcing ourselves or getting frustrated at our shortcomings. It's all about treating our souls with genuine compassion.
And there is profound spiritual authority backing up this power of 1. The author grounds the whole philosophy in this beautiful hadith. The deeds most loved by Allah are those done regularly, even if they are small. It's not about the sheer magnitude of immediate change, guys. It is entirely about the consistency. A tiny trickle of water carves through solid rock eventually, and a small, consistent change will totally reshape your entire life.
Moving on to Section 3, finding our bad habit and being honest with ourselves. Now, as we navigate this, I want you to look inward right now and do it totally without shame. Remember, our Creator already knows us completely, inside and out. So there's nothing to hide. We just need to be radically honest with ourselves.
The text suggests asking ourselves this question during our quietest moments, maybe during your nightly prayers or while making wudu. What is it that most often distances me from Allah? Just let that question sit with you for a second. Honestly, you probably already know the answer. It usually just flashes right into your mind instantly.
And hey, if that first question didn't bring it up, try asking yourself this one softly. What is it that I most often regret after doing? We all have that one specific thing that just leaves a heavy feeling in our chest afterward. Imagine how much lighter, how much more blessed your daily life would feel if you could just leave that one habit behind.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how incredibly relatable these examples from the text are. We often think of bad habits as these dramatic, massive failures, right? But look at this list. Checking your phone before Fajr prayer, cursing in your head during a traffic jam, comparing yourself to someone on social media, procrastinating until late at night, or just engaging in useless talk. These are mundane, modern traps. And remember, those secret habits, the ones only you and your Creator know about, they absolutely count too. No need to feel embarrassed, it's just a branch in the river.
All right, Section 4. 5 steps to uproot a habit by replacing it with goodness. This is where the source material gets super practical. It shifts from reflection to a highly structured, action-oriented guide. We are actually getting a clear roadmap for pulling out that branch and planting something beautiful in its place.
Let's walk through this step by step. Step 1. Give it a specific and honest name. Don't just vaguely say, I have a bad habit. Say, my habit of scrolling social media before reading. Honesty is step 1. Step 2. See its impact as a witness in the hereafter. Will it speak for you or against you? Step 3 is replacing it with a more beautiful habit. Step 4 is absolutely crucial. Pray every single day for it to be removed. Ask for help. And finally, step 5. Record small victories every night. Jot it down. Today I succeeded. It builds incredible momentum.
Let's zoom in on step 3 for a second, because you can't just uproot a branch and leave a gaping hole in the riverbed, right? You have to fill that void. Look at this comparison. We don't just stop checking our phones in the morning. We actively replace that worldly habit with a spiritually enriching one, like reading 3 short verses of the Quran. Or, if your habit is complaining, replace it by intentionally saying Alhamdulillah instead. You are literally swapping out a dead branch for a living seed.
And that brings us to our final section, the journey towards self-change, aiming for a smile at the end of the month. So the crucial point is this: removing one single bad habit does not suddenly make us flawless human beings. Perfection is definitely not the goal here. The goal is simply demonstrating a sincere, genuine willingness to change.
Bak Sukesti frames this entire journey with this profoundly beautiful verse from Surah Ar-Ra'd. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Wow, this is the ultimate motivation, isn't it? The divine help is waiting, the transformation of our lives is waiting, but we have to take that first honest step to change ourselves. We have to be brave enough to reach into the flowing water and pull out that branch.
Because if we do this, if we focus on just one thing, name it, pray over it, and actively replace it, we get this incredibly hopeful vision. Just picture yourself standing in front of your mirror at the end of this month. You're looking at yourself, you're smiling, and you're realizing with this deep, quiet gratitude, Alhamdulillah, I am no longer the way I used to be. What a beautiful victory that would be, for sure.
So, I'll leave you with this lingering, powerful question straight from the text. What is the one branch you will uproot starting today? You don't need to announce it. You don't need to post it online for everyone to see. Just take a second and write that intention silently in your heart right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. May your journey be light, and may your river flow absolutely clear.